Then again, if you have estrogen, all hope is lost. Alright, I just want to say first, before we explore this subject further, I know what the territory I'm going into, especially, treading these kind of waters, very basically controversial. When you talk about, especially, as I kind of said before, forbidden fruit. When you talk about just having an opinion on anything, and you have a swarm of just the most uneducated or very Twinkie, softest Twinkie baby shit. And they come at you for just a simple amount of opinion, and yeah, you'll get swarmed by the beehive. So yeah, I know myself. Probably someone will tell me that I'm even wasting my breath when it comes to just explaining it, because it's really no point too, because really no point other than that. You just pretty much just wasting your spit and my breath and being out of breath, and just make it a pure mention of this. But I guess for the ones that actually have a most illogical brain, and you want to talk in a much more direct and very based opinion or a logical conversation on this, because I do like that. I like healthy debate too. Yeah, I guess I could say I'm basically like that of a warden too. That yeah, strictly if you want to look at it as that, it's my point of view and what I think and what I believe. And basically, when you talk about what I'm about to dig into, it's just purely metrics. Just purely metrics. And if you refuse to argue with that, if you refuse to don't want to look at that, and just throw insults instead, and just stay in kindergarten with the type of behavior you're throwing my way, then hey, yeah, that's strictly the road you want to walk down. But yeah, let's get into this. As the Chicago hometown underdog came back to AEW TV last Saturday, great reception as expected for sure. After being away for 9 months, but it still couldn't pull enough. Kinda underwhelming when you think there'd be more numbers, considering back-to-back CM Punk's monumental return to wrestling after 7 years, a promo with MJF that blew up to 5.4 million views. Yet only 816k viewers tuned into Collision, with CM Punk on the show. AEW as usual, scraping the leftover gutter when it compared to the ratings. The same context can be applied to the Bloodline storyline. The best WWE has produced in years, with the reinvention of Roman Reigns into the Tribal Chief character, which has kept WWE in higher viewership because it's the only valuable good entertainment that's on WWE right now. Everything else is useless. Thank goodness. However they did it, finally, when you're talking about when it comes to Roman Reigns and the story, the Bloodline story, and what they've been able to hold that around him, yeah, it's been the best content thing that WWE has been able to produce. But it's not to say that, yeah, finally putting effort, getting off their asses and putting in effort, still, that's not to say that they're actually putting in effort and just creativity into anything else, because it's just been the same bullshit that we've been getting for years. And that's thanks in largely part, that's still, you can look at that same context when it comes to the Raw ratings, because when it comes to SmackDown, that's obviously purely that story. Not even that, of course, Roman is a star, not to say that Roman Reigns is a star for sure, he is, but when it comes to that story in general, that story has trended. The last 2 segments, especially the 2 or 3 segments of the Bloodline with Roman Reigns and the Bloodline, that's of course, in the latest chapter that it's, dwindling, it's been trending on YouTube, and they're pretty much blowing up everywhere. Which has been the only thing that's been talked about pretty much. Barely if it had in real big news, somewhere like Fox or CAN, that's the only thing that's getting WWE buzz. Everything else, as I just mentioned, even something like people can lie to themselves as all they want. But of course, there's some good. At least there's some logical people in the IWC or wrestling circle overall on the internet. But yeah, people can lie to themselves all they want. But yeah, you gotta be honest with how WWE continues to be and the lies that they continue to spew out, regardless of how they say that they love to play on the fact and just over exaggerate how well they're actually doing. As for All Elite Wrestling, their performance overall will truly tell time, because biased involvement and unnecessary fan service will not keep AEW's doors open. Basically talking about before Collision, even before that, how when it gets to Collision, that people like what is going to be so interesting to get people to tune in, after they get CM Punk back, what's going to be next, what's the next game plan. They better figure it out. I mean, I'm actually one of those with actual, like I said, a logical meaning when it comes to AEW. It's not like I want them to fail. Just for wrestling to survive overall. Like, I want to be having this. I just want to have strictly a clear, open mind, and want to be honest. I'm not going to sit on here and get on here and tell you. Even for the most part, when it comes to when I see somebody like, of course, when it comes to the bigger wrestling channels that they like to, some of them, they talk in circles and they make as if, they like to believe when it comes to this new generation of wrestling fandom, that there's this whole mystique that it's alive, and that's purely false. Given the context of how the rest of the state, just financially, everything, how it's been for the last 20, people can even argue, you could say it since, the last 30 years, since the Attitude Era, and as, eras before, it's been bad. And like I said, I'm gonna, that's with me, I'm completely honest in what I have to say. I hope they figure it out. I hope they really do something to really keep people interested, because other than that, I mean, if it's just gonna be what it was with CM Punk, what he just did with MJF, and then he just were practically, pretty much told that, because it's like, instead of drama, you pretty much saw with the CM Punk and MJF, where it was just back and forth. It was just promos, which is good. It was fun because they were entertaining to a degree. But what else is there to offer if it's not like the Bloodline too? Like, Bloodline story, of course, is a perfect example. And like I said, is it gonna go on? And it just like when he comes at guys like Adam Page and Eddie Kingston, where it feels like a promo. No, it looks like a promo, but it feels more like, it sounds like you got a personal vendetta, or like you just want to, practically miserable, and you just want to use AEW for that. But I actually, I really want, like I said, these companies, WWE and AEW, to succeed, in which why I speak in the manner that I do. But I just really hope they come up with something, and really just hopefully pulling through for them. Instead of actually trying to use that big drama, you have adult men that would rather parade around like high school girls, demanding what they're not even worth.
Product is, instead of having an attraction like a Hulk Hogan or a Rock or an Andre the Giant or Stone Cold Steve Austin, instead of having that one guy starring out is the production of the show, because I see the guys wrestle, and if one gets hurt, there's another one from the performance center that slides right in and takes his place, and they're all the same size, pretty much have the same color hair, and kind of like clothes are made by the same seamstress, and they learn how to wrestle from the same group of trainers.
There's one clip I really tried to find of Hogan saying something else. It was really tried to try hard to find it, but that's pretty much also you can take from that too. But he also said that really stung. Also, like the comment that he said that wrestlers today look like they should be bagging groceries. Yeah, and that's complete. Yeah, he's being completely honest, and he could be. That's I mean, it's Hogan, and he couldn't be more damn right. That, you know, I mean, you can say everything all you want to say about T2, and then when it comes to the Pacific era that he was in, I mean, especially like when you talk about bring up guys, at least like when you talk about somebody like a Bret Hart or Shawn Michaels, especially like Kurt Angle, Eddie Guerrero, those guys, they had bodies, and Randy Orton too. They had bodies, even to because there's like very much other wrestlers that do, but I'm just naming it off the list that come to mind. You know, Undertaker, you know, Kane, yeah, also as well. They had bodies that even so, like someone as much as who did all that stuff to a degree that you didn't really see, like the overexhaustion that they do now in the ring, where it's just they can't even do that right. With RVD, you know, he was in tip-top shape too. Guys like RVD was in tip-top shape, just like Rey Mysterio also as well. And yeah, like these guys, they don't even care. They don't care about when they go in the ring, and they'll you know, you say something about it too, they'll bitch and cry and moan about it because, you know, they can't take, you know, they can't, whether it's criticism, and, you know, they have very, very fragile mindsets. And there's one guy I want to bring up too that goes by, you know, Kevin Owens, of course, because yeah, he's perfect for this discussion. And it's like, yeah, you can see it in his face that there's just a complete disregard for not wanting to actually take the time to really put effort in the gym or anywhere else. It's like, I want to also bring up Adam Cole also as well. You know, he's another example, and just like guys like Johnny Gargano, at least Tommaso Ciampa is in shape. But yeah, it's just, you know, Kevin Owens, like, you know, guys like him, they just go, even that, they just, him specifically, just goes in the ring. It's like they just wake up, go to the, like, of course, go into the job, what they course to do, and they just go to the ring, and just, it's like whatever. It's just like whatever. And he has like decent to subpar matches, which, like I said, I never really liked him to begin with. Then you also have the whole thing of where, because he, to one point, I will argue that, you know, he was at least bit kind of like at least kind of creative or distinctive, but I feel like once he like probably like had like a couple of beers with Stone Cold or something like that, even like in a match to a certain degree, like now, yeah, he just uses the stunner. Basically, yeah, just rip the stunner from another guy that you know, that another character that was well established with another character. If certain people see this also, I know I'm gonna get a bit of a you know, earful, a degrade earful from what they have to say. You know, I guess Kevin Owens watchers, you know, whatever, you know, type of fan base that he has, but yeah, that. Yeah, like I said, guys like him, they don't care. You know, nowadays they don't care about their worth ethic. So, also too, oh yeah, let me finish what I was about to say. But yeah, they don't care about their worth ethic. They don't care about putting any effort or time to actually look like a professional wrestler, act like a professional wrestler, and just, you know, present themselves in a way that you can actually be like I said, they don't have to be like this jaw-jacking bodybuilder. You know, they don't just, it's just like to a degree, they don't put the conditioning in, because it's not like you have to be a bodybuilder to look a certain way or to be a believable character and personality. They don't do that. They just go, like I said, it's just because that's, you know, it's welcomed and it's catered to and it's, you know, encouraged. And that's just the overall, also just another factor, just the downside when you talk about the the business, the professional wrestling today. Yeah, the wrestlers don't care when you talk about, they don't have that desire like somebody like a Bret Hart, what I just said, or like a Shawn Michaels to be completely safe or make the match, even what they're trying to do, like even though it's geared, like I said about, bring it up before, unlike, because you had Bret Hart, which is, someone like Bret Hart, which is what's more important, because they made that match very, very real. Even somebody like Brock Lesnar, they made the matches, they make matches really real, and almost to something like this is actually happening. No, the guys, they don't know how to do psychology, ring psychology. They don't know how to fucking work. They don't know how to do none of that, and it's just laughable. It's completely sad. It really is sad. And it's good that the guys have passion and they like the world of professional wrestling, but it's like they don't get. It's like they're not taking any type of teaching to put that in regard into what they can improve themselves. Yeah, I pretty much hear this every day on the fly, on a weekly basis. As I'm pretty sure wrestling fans already know this already. If it wasn't worse already before, definitely see it now. They just blatantly shove the agenda in your face. Wrestlers aren't even cool anymore. They've become literally full-on bitch-ass marks, and they act like SWJs all over social media, just 24/7, unbearably, and they use that to try to get over now. I don't think I need to go that much into NXT, other than pretty much what you already know, when they're sending main roster guys back to NXT to just boost ratings instead of being organically and original and creative. These days, we do got the Bloodline, and I guess some of the cool other things, but overall, wrestling has just become a complete fucking joke, and pretty much like just overall entertainment. Some good, but just overall now it's just the bad outweighs the good now, whether you're talking about the agenda or just overall the industry just being a pathetic lazy ass, and it's just more about whether it's money or just agenda and shit like that. So it's kind of a sad world today. It's always been that way, but it's getting much more even sadder. And that's what I wanted to tackle today. And man, I'm pretty kind of tired right now, and so I'm gonna do what I do. And stay blessed. I'll see y'all later. And I really had a lot of fun making this, as I do, really, absolutely do. And pissing off people. That's always funny too. So, I'll see y'all later. Tomorrow night probably too. But I guess I'll see y'all soon, whichever leads me next. So, enjoy the rest of y'all night. Stay blessed.